to remove the front forks. I've already bent down the stays under these, so these come back off. It looks like the bottom will stay put in between those. And then this guy should come off and this top cap should be removed. Those removed. This comes right off. See, I have to treat this. This I thought this was the tensioner, but it is not under any pressure. It just moves by hand. Thought that would be locked down a little more. See some bearings. The reason why I'm doing this is this was not moving that freely, and I thought maybe some of the media blast got inside of the bearings and stepping it up. So I'm going to go ahead and take this apart and clean up the grease, put new wheel bearing grease in there, and put it back together. Alright, I removed the bearings from up top. They literally just sit there. And then as I was removing this, I didn't think, but there are bearings at the bottom, and yes, my theory was correct. This is clearly from the media blasting. Got filled with something in there. So these will come out. One actually dropped on the floor. And then there's a couple, I think, stuck up here. All that will get cleaned, re-greased, put back together. Everything has been cleaned up, degreased, media blasted, etc. So here's the plan. I flipped the frame upside down as these just sit in here. I'm going to use a red tacky grease. When I set 18, I count 18 bearings in each upper and lower. So that way they'll stay in, and then I will take the front fork, flip it upside down, insert it while holding it all in place, turn the whole frame over again, and then do the same for the top. That's the plan. Alright, the front forks are back on. Everything's greased up, functioning well. So thought I would maybe start a little bit on some body work on the frame. You can see the one dent there, and then this travesty from the old taillight license plate housing. Here are the tools I purchased to help with the body work. Everybody knows what a hammer and dolly is. This is pretty cool, this contour tool, because there are lots of curves on this bike. As long as you have a good part of the body panel, it'll set that contour, and then you can see how far off the contour is where the damage is, and then you can hammer that back to almost flush, and then when we get over here, this is a nightmare. Got a lot of work over here. Plan on this, gonna hammer it a little bit to get it flush, but ultimately what I plan to do is cut a rectangle out of here, rounded corners, and then I've got some sheet metal going to weld in its place. Hopefully I can just weld where it crosses this edge here on these three sides. It's going to take some time to get this done, but gotta learn someday.